Good afternoon, everyone. The massive cold front rolling through Asia, bringing first time ever recorded snows to Okinawa Island in southern Japan. A little bit further north, Amami Ohshima Island as well, receiving snow for the first time in 115 years. At least enough accumulation to make this incredibly cute snow creature. This is not a dusting across the palmetto trees. This is serious accumulation in an area where it never snows and it never had. This is the first time in recorded history, and their history goes back to the 1600s. Surfers not really caring about the snow, walking over the snow-covered sand, paddling out into the lineup, but look what they see behind them. Snow covering the low mountains at the coastal level. Kuyshu Island also receiving record snows. Nagasaki streetcars rarely see this depth. Other cities covered. Gifu, record snow. Hokkaido Island, record snow. Kitakyushu and Fukuoka Prefecture, also record snow. A quick jump back to see what's happening and how the climate's shifting in Japan last year compared to this year, and the actual latitude shift in the snowfalls. The Arctic blast covering Asia over the last week of January brought temperatures 40 degrees Celsius below normal to many places. This comes right on the heels of the new update for no global warming for 18 years and 9 months. As you can see, the warmest temperatures that were recorded were in 1999. And since then, we have not even come close to being the warmest year ever. A look back at the last 2 seasons in Japan. This comes from Snow Japan. They cover all the ski resorts. The bottom is last year, 2014 and 15. The top is this present season. You can see there's been a flip where the snowfalls were record last year in the northern areas of Japan. The red lines that you see are in Myoko. That's in the northern part of Japan. And for some reason this year it's flipped into the southern areas of Japan, receiving the most snowfall. I isolated out December and January for a close-up view so you can really see how the two areas have flipped, receiving the record snowfalls. Media across Japan is just non-stop story after story of record snowfalls in areas it doesn't normally snow. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Ishikawa, Saga, Kagoshima, Noto Peninsula. These areas are receiving all record snow. Area in red here is Kuyshu Island. It's the southernmost, largest island of Japan. Look on the map here. If you're looking to the far west, you'll see Fukuoka, Kitakyushu, Nagasaki. These are the areas where the snow has been heaviest. Kuyshu, normally a warm, balmy area during the winter, this year turned into an ice wonderland, if you will. Look on Nagasaki here on the map. Streetcars, not used to seeing this much snow. It was the heavy wet snow that came down for about 3 days. A jump into the climate data for Nagasaki. If you see those 2 black squares, the next line down is the average snowfall. If you go to the far right for the entire year, they normally only get 4 centimeters of snow for the entire year. But as you see, 17 centimeters in 3 days. That's more than 4 times the entire yearly average in one single storm. Hiroshima experiencing the same, almost whiteout conditions along the streets there. And jumping into Hiroshima, 12 centimeters for the entire year is the norm. But across the region, it was 142 centimeters. Kitakyushu in the Fukuoka Prefecture, also experiencing far above normal. Fukuoka is a special farming method. I'm sure you've heard this name before. If you're into sustainability, if you have not heard about the Fukuoka method for growing crops, you should definitely look into this to get a higher yield. It's about a natural planting process when it's raining and there's a thunderstorm going on outside when you do the planting. Chugoku region, it's in the dark green just above Kuyshu. Their average yearly total is just about 4 centimeters. But during this storm, they're receiving somewhere around 60 centimeters. Gifu, generally around 46 centimeters per year. This last storm, 146. That's 3 times the yearly average. Cities covered, generally they're heat islands, but this time the heat could not outdo the cold. Saga, 12 centimeters on average. This last storm dumped half of the yearly average. Hokkaido Island receiving 5 feet of snow. A look further south, even into the Amami Ohshima Island and Okinawa, right down near Taiwan, which received snow for the first time in 40 years last week. Unusually though, this is the first ever recorded snowfall in Okinawa Island. And Amami Ohshima was the first snowfall in 115 years. Nago and Okinawa doesn't even list snowfall in their climate data records because it never snows. I was able to go back in the records from traders, history books, and climatic records written by sailors and travelers, and the furthest I could find back was 1620, and there was still no mention of snow. This was on January 24th. It's not just a little snow either. It covered the palmetto trees. Record low cold temperatures across Naha as well, which is the capital city of Okinawa. Road conditions there. And during this storm in Nago, you can see how deep it actually was. Enough accumulation to put together this really cute snow creature with seashell arms. A little bit closer view in for you here where you can see the southern islands. Tourists again really incredibly shocked to come and visit and see the snow. Anybody that's under 115 years old, it's the first time they've seen snow there. Accumulations across the island reached about this depth. Leave it to the surfers, rain or shine, sleet or snow, they're out there walking across the sand, covered in snow, paddling out, right into the lineup. And I love this selfie because look how deep the snow is on the mountains. It has to be an incredibly large amount of snow to accumulate on coastal mountain regions just like you see here. The temperature does fluctuate greatly across our planet. It has since the beginning of records 500,000 years ago, all the way through this last 1,000 years you see here on the chart. This whole hoax of global warming, that we're the ones who cause climate change, you can clearly see that that is not the case, that this is a natural cycle driven by the sun in conjunction with the Pacific Decadal Oscillation, the Atlantic Multi-Decadal Oscillation, Gleisberg cycles, and it's all going cold right now. So you would expect to see snows just like this. Last week, first snow south of Hanoi, 300 kilometers, first time they ever saw snow. Hong Kong, third coldest in their record keeping. Taiwan snows across Taipei City of all places, and this is a heat island, yet it snowed in the center of downtown. Things are definitely changing. I firmly believe that it is in play right now. This is the second year of the new grand solar minimum. It's going to intensify from this point forward. You saw the blizzards across the United States breaking records all over the East Coast. Just how quickly we forgot last year it did the same thing. Boston, all-time snow records. Up in Canada, Newfoundland, all-time record snows. Nunavut, all-time record cold. New Brunswick, all-time record snows. St. John's, all-time record snow. And when you start to add it up, you're seeing the pattern. Greenland's increasing the ice sheet, contrary to what they'll have you believe. I've done videos on everything I've told you before. Just look through the channel roll. You'll find all of the videos with a much greater detailed information. That's why I was really adamant about telling you Fukuoka method for growing crops. You are going to need to know how to grow your own food during this next 20 years. Fukuoka is an incredibly efficient method, and if you start combining it with granite, basalt rock dust, algae fertilizers, and different kind of natural compost, you're going to get a great yield. Do some research into that, because growing food is going to be your #1 plan B. Because if you walk into a place or you're in a community when you're the only one who knows how to grow food, or there's only a couple of you that know how to grow food, you are going to be the most welcome people wherever you go across this planet. That is the trump card for your safety, is learning how to grow food and teaching others how to grow food as well.